Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Away days back in again. A quieter week this week. Less Champions League to worry about. We can sit back and relax. But my God, we had a great weekend of football. We're prediction wizards as well because we predicted 0-0 for Juventus. By the way.
I don't know if that was...
that wasn't that hard. But
I was going to say, it might not have been that hard.
Crazy weekend. Bundesliga throwing up some absolute curveballs. We've got a derby in there to talk about.
Yep.
We've got top five performing well, underwhelming players. We've got 5 teams and players that performed well in the opening match of the Champions League.
Glad we clarified that
one
before.
Early, before we get everything like you say AC Milan and I say Bayern. But there we go. We got a big one to get into. Let's just get straight into it. Starting in the Bundesliga, Leverkusen, they're back. They're back to their dark arts again.
Back to last year, yeah.
What the hell was this game? Let's go from the top bookie. The own goal in the 5th minute. What a debut for him. He had an absolute stinker. Dragged at half time. Then Florian Wirtz pulled one back, 14th minute. I don't know why they were not manning him up on the edge of the area. Then a lot of chances for Leverkusen. Schick could have made it 2-1. However, chances were flying in at both ends. Benal for Wolfsburg brought it level after Jonathan Tah headed home. So both 2-2 towards the end of half-time. And then somehow, in stoppage time, Svanberg, superb run and finish for Wolfsburg, made it 3-2 at half-time. Ridiculous start to this game. Hincapié made it 3-3. And then Wolfsburg went down to 10 men towards the end of the game. And then finally, it was bound to happen.
It had to be,
and
man. Guess
what? It was Boniface as
well.
well.
I knew he'd scores because I was watching it live. I texted you when Hincapié scored, and I was like, "This." I had to text Preston. I hope he's watching. It was a mental game. It was ridiculous. I mean, as soon as Wolfsburg scored in the first couple of minutes, you're thinking, "Oh, hello,
watch out."
Could be a bit of a danger one for Leverkusen," but got themselves back into the game. That Wirtz goal's just poor from Wolfsburg's point of view. I mean, it's like Lamine last week against Girona. Like, just why are you leaving? That quality on the edge of the box. But and then when Tah scored, you're thinking, okay, they'll probably score another 2 or 3 here and completely kill it off. But fair play to Wolfsburg. I mean, like they fought hard. They came back and some pretty bad defending from Leverkusen.
I feel like all the goals are awful.
Yeah, it was a bit of a poor defensive day out for the lads. But it was a wild game. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but it just watching that live, you just knew it was coming. For the whole second half, okay, they scored early on, but you're like, okay, they're not going to score until late on here.
Save it up.
It just felt like they didn't really create too much. And then, what do you know? As soon as it hits the 90th minute, it's in. It's just ridiculous.
Didn't Jackie hit the upright at the 90th before stoppage
time? Yeah, I was like,
that was a belter.
That was a screamer, yeah.
And then it's like, it's coming, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the goal was the biggest scrap in the box all the time. It's the ugliest goal.
But
of course, Boniface is there.
Yeah. What a finish, man. What starts of the year he's had. Jeez.
Him and Wirtz are on fire.
They're them two, as well as Xhaka. They're saving them at the moment, big time.
I can give a little bit of leeway because this was the post-Champions League game.
Yeah, and they were that Champions League.
They rotated hard as well.
Yeah.
No Frimpong, no Andrich.
Yeah, Andrich didn't even get a minute.
Didn't even get on, and they started Schick.
Yeah, he was poor. He missed an absolute sitter, Schick, in that game.
There was a few in there you're thinking, like, okay, I can give some leeway. But you bring the Frimpongs, you bring the Hincapiés on at half-time, get Boniface in there. And then it just flicks like that.
Yeah, it just all clicks and
get the superstars in and good luck.
Yeah, it was an incredible game, and it was just a Leverkusen game. That's just them.
Simply put,
they're conceding a lot of goals at the minute, so they're going to need to sort that out. But I mean, just enjoy it while it's happening. That's the way I look at it. So,
are we worried yet? Are we worried that it's already this non-convincing early in the season?
What about you? It's not a worry until they start dropping points.
That's the thing. I don't know how to feel. Obviously, the early in the season and the loss early to start the season, it feels weird because you expect so much this team. You have so much of a high.
Yeah, that's the thing because of last year. Yeah.
But and because we'll get into Bayern in a sec, but because Bayern is such a high level as well.
Yeah.
It's like you almost have to be perfect again this year to be in this title race. So you've already dropped 3. you want to get away with winning some games 3-0 and killing it off halftime and keeping these guys fit, like the Frimpongs and the Verts.
Yeah.
Because Verts, I don't think he's missed a minute, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's played every single game.
It doesn't look like it's affecting him.
Yeah, but they don't need to.
It's getting better. I don't even know how it's possible, but he is.
He's ridiculous. I think the depth they brought in is good, but you can still tell the difference between the players that played last season versus the players from this season. Like the Terriers. The Garcia is still a good player, but
he's played quite a lot, actually.
I just think Xhaka and Andrich for me are the combination. That to me is just the dynamic duo.
Every big game I would expect Alonso to even like just go back to the same team as last year. I don't have Garcia in. Terrier. I mean, Mukiele might not even start another game after after that first half.
That was awful.
Wow, he was miles off it. But yeah, I don't think it's not a concern because they're obviously still winning and it's still very early on in the season. But you wouldn't want this to. You'd like to see improvement every week from a defensive point of view because they've never had a problem scoring.
Yeah, I was saying the goals come.
Last year they were good defense. They were great, unbelievable defensively. But I don't know. They're just conceding. I don't even think it's what they're doing from a structural point of view. I just think they're conceding just garbage goals, like
weak goals,
crappy corners, and like the one that put Wolfsburg ahead at half time.
Yeah.
It's like it's not in the corner. It's in the keeper. I think should be doing a bit better.
That second goal, you're right. The flick on the front post, and that one was no one win.
Yeah, it's
like
a bit weird.
Go with the guy. Yeah. But it was a game. Let's be honest. It was a game of zero defense. So there was awful football in terms of defensively. But going forward, both teams were
very
fantastic.
good. Yeah.
Easy in the eye. It's Bundesliga back at its best. I feel like.
That was
me, the Bundesliga.
That was like prime Bundesliga.
Yeah.
That was
back and
incredible.
Forth.
Yeah, I loved it.
2-3 at half time.
I mean, both games from Sunday night were just. We'll get onto Stuttgart in a little bit, but my God, that was an advocate for the Bundesliga
football. You know what? We'll skip on to them. We'll do Bayern after. Let's talk about Stuttgart. 5 goals to 1. I loved it, by the way. Anton, every touch he got, dogs abuse.
I loved it.
I loved it. That's it.
I absolutely loved it.
You leave Hernus and the boy, like you
leave them because they would have been unbelievable this year. I want to point this player out real quick before I forget him. Enzo.
Oh, Milo.
Oh my God!
You might have been preempting one of my calls later on in this video because he's been ridiculous.
What a player, man! What a player! I mean, I think all the talk has sort of been about Stiller, the 6, sort of this underrated guy that's hung around at the club. But I mean, this guy, 22, what he's done at the start of this year,
it's ridiculous.
There's going to be some big teams knocking on the door for him, I reckon.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's just a start of season thing. I think he is what I expected Xavi Simons to be this season.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it's a very good point you raised. It's a very good point you raised.
That performance was even just his whole season so far has been. I mean, he's kept Stuttgart at bay so far. I think they're 7th at the moment.
Yeah,
obviously the gap's not that much, but
it looked dodgy at times. He's called
it did.
At the Bernabeu as well, he was
good,
man.
I think he missed a 1-on-1. But he still had a good game there. So
it's just the vision. I just think it's ridiculous the passing, and then when he gets in those tight spots like that, the assist he got right at the end of the game.
Was it from the throw in or the corner where he?
Yeah, someone, and he just ran
down the line
on the bar line.
Incredible.
No one could tackle him, and he just slips the ball across.
Yeah.
I think it was Undav came in to make it 5, and it's like, but this is what this guy's all about, though. All stuck to his feet.
Incredible, yeah. I mean, I had that game on as well as the City game, little cheeky half.
There you go, love that. Love that.
And I couldn't. I ended up watching more of the Stuttgart game because I absolutely loved watching it. It was Undav is. I mean, oh my God, this guy Demirovic has been very impressive since he's come.
Filled that
he's filled it very well.
Yeah.
He won't replicate the amount of goals, but in terms of like from a structural point of view and linking up with Undav, it's pretty much perfect at the minute. So I know at the start of the season they looked a bit defensively not great, but they're slowly getting there. I think defensively getting there slowly.
That's going to give you so much confidence, that result.
Yeah, massive. It has to surely.
Because talk about structure, the press, which they kept bringing up on the coverage, it really would be on the coverage, but their press was like, I haven't seen a team press that well for some time. Like that was.
I loved it, man.
I couldn't even think when the last time I saw maybe like Girona back in last season. Like that was like the level of pressing that was going on. Maybe Bologna at the peak last season. It was just all 10 of us. I was going to be up the pitch. We're going to be at you.
Yeah.
They couldn't play out.
And
Dortmund could not get out.
They got absolutely battered. I think they had maybe a decent chance in the first half. Adeyemi was open, but
he didn't square it.
Bono Gittins he should have squared it. But besides that, I mean, how it was 2-0 at half time, it should have been 5 or 6. Kobil made some great saves, but that was the Stuttgart of last year, and maybe even better. Like that was that was incredible, that performance.
An all-round team performance, probably the best I've seen for them.
Yeah,
very good.
It just imagine if they kept Anton and
I think Anton Aito stays, like the two focal points at the back. I think it sounds bad. I think you can get away with Guirassy. Demirovic for me does a job.
That is the perfect like for like.
Yeah, and he's from the Bundesliga. He knows what's going on. He's a big guy, not as quick as no one's really as quick as Guirassy because of that mold, but quick enough to fill the hole in, get him behind. He's going to be, and it's like the 1-2 punches now. Instead of the Guirassy Undav punch, it's the Undav Demirovic punch. And we might be getting to see the best of Undav because again, Undav on the Bernabeu was fantastic as well. So it's the Milos, I think it's the Stillers. These are the players, but I think Undav might be the guy this season.
Yeah,
like he could take them very, very far. To make top 4 again, maybe if he's in the form he is right now, banging in goals.
I think I had him 6th. I think 5th or 6th. I think I had him.
Yeah, I don't think either of us had them in there though.
Yeah, no,
but
because it's just such an unknown. Like they lost the core pretty much.
Yeah,
their team.
The structure is gone. The middle of the park's gone.
Yeah, but I mean, your guy, you caught it. So, what, the second week we did this? You caught it.
The manager list here.
You had him in. So that might be. That is.
He humbled Louis Sahin though.
He
humbled on the weekend.
He did, yeah. Concern for Dortmund, real quick, or is this just a one-off for you? Do you think? Because
the classic loss you have to have.
Yeah,
because I think Sahin's gone in. Sort of to look like Liverpool. Like they go in. Sahin's gone in with this. We're going to be a possession team. But what happens when the team presses you? They haven't had that yet. They saw it on the weekend.
And when a team scores first.
Like it's something different. Trying to work that out, especially a press like that. I don't think playing even Man City would struggle playing up from the back end's that type of press. Like that was electric, energetic. At it from minute 1. You're not going to say that often, but if you can learn from that and just acquire a plan B, Dortmund could easily play with the pace they've got up top. Bit of almost a long ball strategy using the flanks. It's fine, but they try to overplay it.
They just got completely
cooked.
Like they just couldn't get out.
To be honest, Sahin got outmanaged. Simply put,
and it's to be expected, isn't it? In a way, because I mean, this guy's Sebastian Hoeneß. He's just an elite manager.
You've got to consider
and
top
Sahin's. He's going to make these mistakes. It's going to happen. So there might just be one of those years where just these results just kind of happen. I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a thing because Dortmund's a goal scoring side, but defensively there is some worries at least.
A little, yeah. Well, after that game, there has to be.
We're seeing 5 on them. Yeah, it
has to be.
So. Has a lot of problems is Werder Bremen because Bayern whacked. Is it
5
past them? So I got the statistics.
You could just say like Elise 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
20 goals in the week for Bayern. Best team probably in the world right now, and most goals I think in all the top leagues. Werder Bremen not a shot at all in this game, not even one long ranger.
Wow.
This is an ultimate demolition derby.
This was just Elise, to be honest. Like
my
God. I know I went on about Milo. But Jesus, this was just as good.
This is my boy doing what he wants to do, man.
Wow, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, I knew he had the talent, and I just couldn't see this coming this quick. At Bayern, I knew it would come because he's such a good player. But fucking hell,
it's ridiculous.
That was insane.
The whole aesthetic as well, black boots as well. Just
he was gliding, and then the finish,
That assist as well, by the way. How the hell has he worked through 4 Bremen press? In and out, a little flip flap, and gets to the byline. Somehow picks out Harry Kane in the box, and then was it Harry Kane?
Yeah, it was.
No, Musiala in the box, and then Musiala slid the ball home. I'm thinking
There was just too many to remember. I know he assisted Kane as well.
So at least they opened the scoring.
Yeah.
Kane set him up there. Then he set up. At least they set up Musiala for the second. Kane added the third. By the way, in the 57th minute, it should have been about 5 before.
Yeah.
Little 1-2 with Elise. Great 1-2, by the way, with these. Yeah. Elise added his second in the hour mark. Then Gnabry came on and said, I'll have a goal as well in the 65th minute. And then it was Kimmich, Kane and Sane all got denied either by the post, save, the crossbar. So it looked like an 8 sort of type game.
Yep.
I saw midweek 6-1, I think it was midweek. And then it was 5 or 6.
Against Dynamo?
Yeah.
There was 9-2.
It was 9. So it's 6-1 against Holstein.
9-2
against Dynamo, and then 5-0 versus Werder Bremen.
They don't mind scoring goals, do they?
Not bad.
They don't struggle in that department, I don't think.
Not bad on the weekend.
I think they're okay. I think company's done all right there.
I'm about to say, my company shout's going to be aiding really badly.
You know what? Hair play to him, man. He's
done it.
I know when he first signed, me and you were a bit, how the hell has this happened?
Yeah.
I think the whole football world will like that, to be honest. But there was a little inkling that with better players, we could actually see what this company football is all about. But I mean, wow, they're scoring some. They're just playing so well. They got a back four finally. Back five. Kim Min-jae actually looks.
He's okay. He's okay. He's fine.
You know what? He's a defender.
He can actually defend.
He's back defending. He's not all over the place. So they're looking good. They're looking really good. So you got to credit them.
Yeah, I got to give companies flowers. I apologise. I look in the camera. I apologise, Vincent. I did not see this. I did not foresee what was going on here.
He might make our top 10 managers.
Just.
10th.
20 goals in a week. Maybe. I'll take 2. Vincent, I'll take 2. Give United 2 of those goals and we'll be flying this season.
Yeah.
But it is just ridiculous. Kane, I think, is breaking more records for, I think, frequency or like tally of goals.
Surely there has to be a trophy this year. Oh if there isn't a trophy this year, like, wrap it up. Bro has to retire and just become a manager. Maybe that's what he has to do. I don't know.
He might bottle more trophies.
Yeah, I know he might bottle more.
But even they're bringing on Sane and Gnabry, they're looking good.
Matisse Tell hasn't even
featured
in the pitch.
Yeah, I love Pavlovic. I love.
Yeah,
Pavlovic.
he's
great player,
underrated. I reckon.
Really good player. They've got some serious depth. Kimmich balling out on this side. They're not even using Goretzka. Goretzka's on the outer.
Don't need to. You don't need to.
Look at this team.
Handy player to have, but they don't need him at the moment. So.
The starting lineup, and then you look at the bench and thinking he hasn't made many signings, but it feels like it's a whole brand new team. The way
just the way they're playing. Even Palini I know he played against Holstein, but he hasn't played a whole lot. It's not like he's starting.
They went Koeman, Musiala, Elise behind Harry Kane. They went Pavlovic and Kimmich in midfield.
Yeah.
Conrad Lehmer played right back on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then Kim and Upamecano. And then you got Gnabry, Sane, Palhinha, Guerrero, Muller, Goretzka, Dyer, Matisse Tell, all on the bench.
There's some serious players.
All of a sudden, it looks really good. All of a sudden, when you start putting together a squad that can play some good football, it's funny though because surely Tuchel could have got this out of this squad. I don't understand the difference.
Maybe just the back five and it was a massive issue, that back five. So we talked about last year. Just go to a back four. Kim Min-jae was the best defender in Serie A in a back four.
Yep.
Musiala, he's just continuing on from last year. And it's just that extra bit of quality as well. Elise, look what that's all it is.
Different, right?
In that forward line, it's still Koeman, it's still Gnabry.
Yeah.
It's just, players like that just change your club. It's like Salah when he went to Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's like Bruno Fernandes when he first arrived at United. It's
just a spark whenever he picks the ball up.
I'm
loving it. I'm loving it, by the way. I'm all for this. Next Thursday is going to Bayern.
Big up the Bundesliga this week, particularly.
Big up the Bundesliga this week.
Big up the Bundesliga.
There's our 3 games. So Bayern on fire. They go top. Their goal difference is ridiculous, by the way.
Outrageous, yeah.
Stuttgart put 5 past Dortmund, and then Leverkusen do their thing.
I think Bayern play Leverkusen this week.
This weekend, massive
huge
game.
That'll be a big one.
Huge game.
That's the first real test, probably for both teams, to be honest, to see where they're at.
Both had relatively easier games midweek in the Champions League. Haven't really gone against any big boys yet.
Yeah, no.
The big one.
He'll be good.
The big one. Let's go into our first game of the week. 5 players surprising us season off or overachieving. Let's go with that sort of word there. This was interesting. These 2 lists were hard. We've got also the underwhelming list coming up later as well.
Yeah.
It's very hard to just pick one player from one league. I gotta be honest.
This one I actually... Yeah, I found okay.
It's easier than
the underwhelming one.
The underwhelming is very difficult. I thought evil doing underwhelming, but yin and yang. That's what we're going with here.
Exactly.
get us it. I'll get us it for the first player.
Nice.
Because we already talked about it, I want to keep the momentum rolling here.
I like
Enzo Milo is my surprising player from the Bundesliga. Again, we knew a little bit about him last year, but it wasn't the focal figure of Stuttgart. It wasn't the big names. We always had Anton, we had Garassi, we had the Steelers that have remained there. But it feels like, Milo or Undav's team this season on the back of the weekend, on the performance of the Bernabeu as well. It's just like real deal. I didn't realize how young he was until I just looked into him.
I actually wanted to look him up.
Yeah.
I thought he was like kind of 24, 25.
Yeah, I thought it was around that.
Just because of how he plays.
Yeah, exactly.
But for him to be
Still
22,
young.
wow. Yeah, he's
Ridiculous.
a serious player, man. I'll go to the Bundesliga as well. I went pretty different here.
Yeah.
I went with Omar Mamouche from Frankfurt.
Pulling out the ball notch.
Yeah, the ball notch. Played
Played
for, obviously, Frankfurt this year. He's scored 4 goals already. He is playing some serious football at the moment. He's scoring some great goals, sort of playing as a left winger, kind of second striker. He's he's hard to stop at the minute.
There's a lot of good strikers in the Bundesliga right
Another
now.
Egyptian king has arrived. So, yeah, he's have a watch of him because he's a serious player at the
And they're
minute.
firing this season as well, by the way.
4th, I think.
Great start.
Yeah,
Third or fourth at the moment. Great start.
Freiburg 3rd there. 4th.
Yeah.
And didn't really know who he was, to be honest. So
absolutely. I can vouch for that. That's a very good pick. Let's go Syria.
Okay.
I'm gonna go somebody we talked about last weekend, Federico Gatti from
Juventus.
Juventus.
I like that.
Very good in the week as well. Didn't have to do as much, but really solid in the week. For Juve, you've had a good start to the season. Defensively solid on the weekend yet again. 0-0. But they did a job again.
Best team in the world statistically.
Yeah. Well, I say of course, don't fucking concede. But he's led that back line, taken the armband some games as well.
Yeah.
Very, very comfortable. Again, not your modern day, ball player and all this rubbish. He just gets the job. He gets in the way. Some great blocks, great challenges.
Yep.
Big presence though. That's what I like about it. It's a real big presence. Old school type centre back, and I like that. So he's my surprise package for me.
I went with a man that we have actually spoken of, Dennis Mann from Parma.
So close to putting you in.
Parma.
A lot of Parma players.
Yeah. I feel like I had to get a Parma player in because they've had a pretty exciting start to the year without picking up the points, I guess. Like Napoli is the one that sticks out where they was so good in that first half. Keeper makes a bit of a shocker, and then they lose it in extra time. I think Udinese as well. They were up 2-0, and then they lost that 3-2. So, but yeah, Dennis Mann's been. I think we pointed out with was it the Milan game?
Yeah,
he was cooking. He was cooking with that high line they were playing. He was just getting all the space in the world, and yeah, he's very exciting player. Good for Romania at the Euros as well. So
he's got that weldy.
I think it was him. So
there's a lot to be excited about there if you're a Parma guy. All right, I'm going to Ligue 1.
I didn't do a Ligue 1.
Oh, you did stay away from the.
I was like, who the fuck's been surprised?
I've been watching a lot of Marseille and Luis Enrique.
Yeah, good shout. Very good shout.
The partner in crime for Greenwood up top. They got a fantastic win on the weekend. We'll get on that, but he's been very, very good for me. Again, we don't have to watch much of Ligue 1 because they don't get coverage here. But
it's the McDonald's Ligue 1, So.
From the highest packages and the stats and the numbers he's putting up, ridiculous start to the season. Really impressive. Marseille, they're equal top now. So he's been pivotal.
We'll talk about that result. But that's
put him another nuts game this week. But
nuts.
He's really stood out to me. So that's been very impressive.
Very nice. I'll go to the championship.
Yep.
Again, another winger, another man that we have spoken of. Mundle.
What a player.
Mundle.
What a player.
Yeah. Hell of a player this year at Sunderland. Started off really well. Scored some really good goals, and I think he's one of the main reasons as to why they're near the top and playing pretty well. Yep. So yeah, he's one to look out for. He's surprised me. So
I can be better. If they don't go up, he'll be moved to some prep.
Yeah, he looks
the deal.
A couple more months and he's of this level, and you'd say he's probably ready.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. All right, I went in my bag for this one here for the Premier League. I think it's Yakinuri Sugawara from Southampton.
Wow.
Because I've loved watching.
He's gone into the depths here.
I've gone deep.
I like it.
I've really dug into my corner here.
I like it.
I've had a rough start of the year, quiet start of the year into making random. This is my random call. All the talks about Tyler Dibbling at the moment from Southampton.
That is true, yeah, it is.
On the same side, Sugawara has been doing his thing in fullback. Watching the full game against United, very impressive. Capable going forward. again, he's not elite in any area, but he's good in a lot of areas.
Good, yeah.
And he's really stood out to me. He's probably Southampton's most consistent player across the first 5 games. Again, a side I thought would ship. They are shipping goals, but he's probably looked the most sound out of them lot. And I think he's giving me the Alfie Doughty vibes of last season. He's giving that sort of vibe.
Love it.
Where, like, he's probably the most complete package out of the lot. Will he might stay with the side if they go back down, but wouldn't be surprised if a team has a punt. Whoever comes up might have a punt, try and get him across. Because capable in a 5, I think could do a job in a 4. And it's just looked very handy. Yeah. So I've gone with Sugawara for me.
Very nice.
There's your ball launch of the week.
Love it.
Lock that one.
Love it.
Lock that one in the bank.
Mine's a little bit boring now, to be honest. My Prem one, I went with Ryan Gravenberch.
Valid shout. Very valid shout.
I didn't want to go a Liverpool one because it's just like, Liverpool, everyone's talking about them. But no, I think, look, the talent's always been there with this guy, but I think the level he's playing at in a position where I thought he was an 8, obviously playing as that 6, he's been, you could argue he's been man of the match in every one of our games so far. Even the Nottingham Forest one, he was still the best player on the pitch for us. So, man of the match in the Champions League at the San Siro, I thought he was. I think he's had a great start to the year, and the whole Zubimendi thing doesn't look as bad now.
Looks all right.
Looks actually not bad.
Looks fine. Save some money and got in. I had a problem with La Liga because I wanted to choose for any Barcelona player, to be honest, because I didn't see this coming.
I went with Barca as well.
I did not see this. I was going to go one of the young kids in midfield.
Yeah.
But you know what I went with? I went with Rafinha.
So did I.
Because I sort of ruled him out. I was close to going Lewandowski as well because I ruled them both out. I thought they were both gone. I thought there was no chance they'd be a part of the next Barca side. But Rafinha has come in this season and has just been like, I'm just gonna boss this league. He's walking it.
Has,
2 goals on the weekend, just casually, 2 late goals, secure the result. His link up with the front 3 right now looks almost telepathic between Lamine and Lewandowski. And it's not the Leeds Rafinha. It's actually a next level from that.
I think it's levels above.
It's smarts on the board's vision. It's runs in behind. It's a full package that I don't think I'd ever expect from him. And we've got it.
Literally, yeah. I always thought he'd just kind of be a squad player at Barca, but he's proved me wrong. I've been pretty harsh on him, to be honest, saying he shouldn't be starting for them. I think last year I was saying this, but he's surprised me big time this year. I didn't know he had this level.
The bag's deep.
But he's playing very well at the minute. Very, very well. Got a lot of good right wingers in the world at the minute. I know he's not necessarily playing on the right.
He's playing a bit everywhere.
He's playing a bit everywhere. But Jesus, there's a lot of high quality wingers at the minute. So.
I just stop right now to pick
I think like 4 of my 5 were wingers. Just realising, but
That's midfielder as well.
Besides Gravenberch, Mamush can sort of play there.
That's it.
It's valid though. Like they've all been
cooking
ridiculous and surprising. So fair play for Rafinha. He's surprised me.
Loved it. I think it's been very impressive.
Even Lewandowski, like my God.
I was saying it was those 2 or Casado for me though. That's what I was thinking of. Just Hansi Flick. He's
just put him.
Turn the ship around too.
Big ship,
There you go. There's our 5.
Yep.
Let's quickly jump to Italy
for
2 games. 2 big games. So we'll save the biggest one for last. Let's go Roma back on track, beating league leaders Udinese 4-0.
Yeah.
What
was it 3?
3, yeah. I think today my numbers again. I had it on Monday as well. I couldn't read. Good result. Artem Dovbyk in the goals. We sort of said this, didn't we? Once Dovbyk gets a chance, they should
and
score.
He was involved in all 3. So
and Abazay is pivotal. That pass to the 3rd goal, fantastic.
Very nice,
little reverse ball there. Looked at somewhat of their best, I think, Roma.
Yeah, it's
the new manager bounce.
I was about to say it's a new manager bounce. The whole De Rossi sacking, I don't know. It's hard to have an opinion on it, to be honest, because it's just so early in the season. It's a bit confusing, but that was the Roma that we thought De Rossi would have. Dovbyk was getting on a lot more chances. Every time he was involved, it looked like they were going to score.
Score goal,
Dybala was back, sort of close to his best, and defensively, I thought they were pretty good. Udinese didn't have too much, so. It probably is a new manager bounce. We saw this when De Rossi first came in.
Yeah.
We thought
they're back.
They're back. They're going to start to be a more consistent Serie A side. But yeah, it's hard to get a read on Roma, to be honest.
Roma's
It's
a
really
tough,
hard.
tough team.
It's
to read.
really hard, yeah.
When I sit there watching the game back and it's the second goal went in, I was sitting there, I was like, is this like a... If you're too really, really different as a club in terms of the way you run it, would you just keep sacking managers and keep getting the new manager bounce? Roma,
even Watford vibes.
I was like, there was no right for Roma to sack. Like, yes, we all had questions on him. Like we both said last season, well, could this continue? And it sort of tailed off trends towards the end of last season. But you're 5 games into a league season. It's been hit and miss. But Inter haven't been great. Juve haven't
AC
hit the...
have only just...
AC had to sack their manager. Like, is it not just you need a bit of time? Like, I don't know. I don't know much about the new manager. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I don't even know who he is. I gotta be honest.
Like maybe he can turn the ship around, but like it just feels like if you're gonna keep getting this new manager bounce, you're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if probably the greatest, second greatest, along with Totti, if he's coming into the club as a manager and he's not getting anything from these players, then who will? Yeah. You know, unless you're Pep Guardiola or something, literally. But I don't know. It's just hard with Roma because I want to back them. I want them to be that sort of underdog Serie A because they're a big club, but they've sort of always been that kind of.
But not
I always see them as like the Tottenham of Serie A in a way.
Yes,
do you know what I mean? Because they always finished 4th. I think they finished 4th like 4 years in a row.
And the trophies don't
they don't come only when Jose's there.
I was say when Jose.
That's the difference between them and Tottenham, I guess. When Jose was at Tottenham,
he won something.
Yeah, he won something. But I think this is just going to have to be one we watch for the next sort of 2 months. Because I'd say a month, but they're probably going to win their next 4 games and the new manager bounce. So.
The manager bounce, you have to go through the ups to get to the down, and then back through to get.
I'm a bit disappointed they didn't stick with him.
It wasn't a shock though for me. I don't know why. I sort of would. I could imagine it happening. That's the thing.
It wasn't a shock because that they're notorious for doing this. Roma, they usually just sack managers when
it's Italian clubs as well. I feel like Italian clubs.
They do jump ship quick, don't they?
We find
it with Napoli last year.
4 managers on the one season. The poor players want to get a whole system down. And
I wonder what Dovbik's thinking. You know, like players like that have been brought in. But I mean, it was the Dovbik we saw at Girona, so
he was so involved. He was so good.
Yeah, there was just a freedom about them. I don't know. They would have had freedom under.
I was say that word freedom. That was the one we mentioned when De Rossi came across.
It's so confusing. It's confusing.
And is that a player's problem? Is that a manager problem? Is that just football? But like you go from fantastic football to struggling to sack to fantastic to like just that's why I just thought about maybe Watford are right. Just keep sacking managers and eventually you'll get somewhere.
Yeah. I mean they might win the league if they keep doing this. New manager bounce because they look good. Bounce. It's just it's not good for a football club to be like this.
At all. You know what was the old Sakiko almost in many regards was the Inter derby. This Fonseca I found out was basically a game away from not being there anymore. Saved his job by beating Inter. This is a good derby. This was just a back and forth one.
Surprising derby, big time. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, surprising.
I did not see this coming.
Inter have not lost the last 6
I think the aggregate score was like 14-2. The last there you go. 6 games or something.
They've gone and battered them every other game. And this one here they got showing up 2-1.
Yeah, first half, like what you said, it was pretty even. Yeah. Pulisic was incredible. Oh my god, he's everything Leao should be at the minute. To be honest, your shout with Leao being probably the most annoying player in world football is every week. It's just like, oh my god, yes, 100%, I agree. But yeah, that second half, AC just killed them, absolutely killed them. The fact it was only 2-1, it should have been 4.
But Summer had saved us.
Yeah, Summer saved them. A couple of selfish moments from I think Leao and I think Abraham might have made the wrong pass. But yeah, that was a huge performance. That was one that said we want this manager to stay, right? Surely,
fighting for the manager.
Because there'd be every excuse to roll over and say, oh, look, Inter, they're supposed to be the favourites, heavy favourites to win this thing. Yeah, we'll just get the manager sacked now. Get him. But they played a really good game. Second half especially.
I love what Reinders is doing in midfield. Yeah. I love what Pulisic is doing. Abraham was a bits and pieces type game, but you can see it's there.
You can see he's an upgrade on Obviously losing Giroud, but I think Morata just doesn't fit. I don't think.
Morata tries, but it's not quite it, right?
It's not the Atletico version.
Like Leao was okay. I think the decision making and right at the end and the shot choice and stuff, that's what annoyed me. Some of his individual runs were okay, but I'm just not a fan of what Leao's doing. I think everywhere else there was really good. Mike Mignon in goal made the saves when
big saves.
We had to make in the first half.
Had
to make some saves. He was there to make it. The back four looking better. They went to a 4-4-2. Like they went to like a flat.
It was just much more solid.
Yeah.
Second half especially, like they're all over them. They
kept winning the ball back, pressing out the pitch.
Emerson was better. I thought he was better. It was just one of those. I think it just clicked.
Yeah.
Finally.
It's been 7 games.
I think it just finally clicked. So I know they had the good result against Venezia. I got that done within half hour. The Liverpool one was, I thought that was shocking in that game, besides the first 2 minutes. I mean,
a good start.
I thought they were pretty bad, to be honest. And then, that's a huge win. That's against Inter. Wow. Massive.
Big boys.
Yeah. I thought it would be close. I think we predicted like a 2-1.
Yeah.
Because Inter haven't fully kicked into gear, and now it's...
Inter's a watch now.
But yeah, they're...
I think it's been 3 games, including the Champions League, since they last won a game. Because they drew midweek.
They've drawn a few, and obviously this one's a... Is it a result they needed like Dortmund, or is it because obviously the draws you would think are the results because they would need?
Monza draw, City draw,
Genoa, I think
lost to Milan. Genoa start the season off draw,
and they could have even lost that.
Yeah, they should have lost that. They've only beaten Lecce and they beat Atalanta 4-0. So like, it's funny they've beaten that's a very strong side 4-0, and they beat Lecce 2-0.
To be fair, Atalanta have struggled to start the season to score.
Yes.
I think Rechigu, I think his name is, he scored half their goals.
Yeah.
They've only scored 8, so...
They're looking very hollow in midfield there.
Yeah.
They got Udinese on the weekend.
Yeah. Their games are hard. Like Udinese, they're near the top. I think they got Torino in there as well, maybe.
Torino after that. Yeah. And then Roma away. That could be a huge game.
Their next 3 games.
That could be huge.
Jesus.
You check Redstone between that.
It's now or never. I know the Serie A is still all pretty close, but
it gets a funny spot then.
It's just because like who else would you have winning it? Like Juve
can't score. They can't score.
Napoli look the best at the minute.
I must say, and it's Conte effect.
Crazy,
like they got the Conte effect where they just win games. Like this table right now,
open, isn't it?
Torino's top. That's where we're at the current point in time. Torino top, unbeaten, 11 points.
Yeah,
Napoli second, as well as Udinese second or third, but equal points. Juve in 4th on 9 points. Empoli on 9. Inter on 8. Milan on 8. So the team that are about to sack their manager, same points as Inzaghi.
Inter, and the team that we've been kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah, more points.
Yeah, which is mental, crazy how football works. But
and Roma only 2 points behind them. Like, yes.
Would you say this is a bad look for the Serie A in terms of how bad? Like, we don't even have like an actual like good team at the minute in a way because Inter haven't even started.
No,
it's
a bad look, but it's also a more traditional look.
Yeah,
like what football was in the 2000s, like where there's a team might just come through, have a good season, they win the title, right? But it's more of a like what I'm saying right now is there's not a good team.
Yeah, no,
there's no good team.
Genuinely, yeah.
Some great players, some great managers, but there's no good team.
No. I'm not giving up on Inter just yet.
No, we're not. Maybe we're earlier than last week when I was off the bandwagon last week.
You're just the goat at these things. I just like your Prem predictions and Champs predictions. Like, I was like, you predicted Inter perfectly. Maybe I don't know. Maybe again, what you said with the whole not signing anyone major. Maybe that's come back to bite them. In modern football,
that's the thing. You have to keep on top because. I don't know if it was Arteta who said it or so, like a pundit said it, but to beat Man City, you have to be like have 3 transfer windows where you're ahead of them. You can't have one and then miss one and then come back. You have to be consistently adding depth and quality.
And you have to buy players that instantly start and then have the bench players. It's the ones that say, look, we got to win the Premier.
Like Savio to City, like that's one of the best deals, I reckon, because you get him in, different type of player, but you add something to your team.
And somehow he's better than what they have.
They already have. And they've got Grealish, and they've got Doku, and they've got Infoden. And then you look at Inter. It's like, where's the improvement?
Yeah, bang on. Yeah,
it's still Bastoni coming out at left centre back, and Acerbi's in the middle, and it's Darmian.
Teams do their homework through the coaches do the homework before in the off season. It's
And like we say this every year, but once they won the title, but yet they did hit the brick wall and just sort of fall away. Because they were on for the record points. They were on to Brett Conte's record, and they just
maybe the evidence was there. It's just because of how big the margin was and how bad the other teams were. We just kind of
maybe they're just in the
dismissed it. But maybe it would be exciting.
It makes
at the same time, it'd be very, very disappointing because of how
we talked about this era,
how good they were last year, and like the team's there. It's just you need again to go to the next step.
It might simply be Lautaro though.
But then they go to the Etihad and they look good. I thought they looked all right.
I think they were almost what's the word, fulfilling from the Champions League.
I thought they looked all right. Like,
they did the job.
A few chances.
Held on.
I know City missed a couple of. I know someone made some good saves and stuff, but like they did
their job. They went there to draw.
Yeah,
I think they got the job.
So they're a watch, just like a lot of teams, just like pretty much every team in Serie A at the minute is a watch.
Your top 10's a watch. Like, I'm looking
literally every single one of them is a watch.
You're right. Atalanta's struggling. If they win tonight, they go ahead of Inter.
And all things look rosy.
And everything's great again. You're only 2 points off the top. The fact that we've only got 3 teams unbeaten, and they include Empoli with 3 draws, Juve with 3 draws, and Torino with 2 draws.
Empoli, Jesus.
So Empoli, God. I'm hoping that falls off very quickly.
Yeah, no, our relegation
ain't looking good. Ain't looking good at all.
Even Venezia won.
They won.
They're not even in the...
Bologna won as well on the weekend. Bologna got back. They beat Monza.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and Monza, who we were praising last week, rightfully so, relegation.
In the relegation zone. There you go.
Serie A's backwards at the minute. It's honestly backwards.
Try and make that make sense to me, please.
Serie A for you.
Let's quickly go to France before we get into our next segment. Marseille, big winners in the Olympic rivalry, I heard. They call it Olympic rivalry. The Olympic Marseille was Olympic Lyon. And this was dramatic. Jesus. How did
they win, man?
The captain for Marseille was sent off in 5 minutes. I think in 2 yellows in 5 minutes. That's Martinez areas.
Rightfully, I think that was. Would you agree?
That was the dumbest decision.
Yeah.
But why has he gone and pulled him back when you know you're in yellow?
It's just stupid, isn't it? It's just De Zerbi. He's gone. He is. De Zerbi ain't putting up with that. But
he's a mad. He would cop it. De Zerbi's a madman. He would get into him.
It's just stupid, isn't it? Like, why?
In 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And it's the first 5 minutes. Not like it's the first 5 minutes.
Let him go, man. And look, the ref got that spot on, I think.
Yeah.
So I can't believe they won that game. Literally 90 minutes with 10 men.
Yeah.
And for Lyon, that is just poor. That's shocking.
Rubbish Lacazette penalty in there.
Yeah. For that first goal, was it Enrique who played the ball through?
I think it was. He played.
If he meant that, that is the best ball of the season so far. I'm assuming he did, but it was very quick, like a toey kind of ball through.
But yeah, it was one of those reverse balls where
I think he meant it. I'm going to say he meant it.
For the benefit of my listeners.
Let's say he meant it, yeah. That was incredible, that ball. And they finished their chances, man. Yeah. Like maybe the second one you could say it's a bit lucky because it just bangs into the ground and it's top bins. But you earn your luck. Like,
that's a good way.
The third goal, was just an incredible goal. They defended well, and I mean, good penalty from Lacazette. Fucking Jesus.
What a penalty from Lacazette.
But yeah, really was good.
Yeah.
I can't believe they won that game, honestly.
No right to win that game.
Right at all.
No right to win that game.
And if they got a draw, we'd be sitting here going, how'd they draw?
How do you play 90 minutes in a derby and come out with a win? Give Arsenal some... give Arsenal money how to win a game.
Don't say that.
I'm going to steal the pot something. I'm going to steal it something. But no, fair fight. I don't know. They imploded. That last got the winner. Like, what are they doing?
If I was a Lyon fan, I would be seething. Absolutely.
You know what the keeper was at? It was a nothing ball. Keeper messed around with it. And Rowe gets the ball, runs past a few, whacks it in.
Bangs it in. Deserved. If you're not going to kill a game with the team down to 10 men, and you're going to concede just garbage chances in terms of how they were defending, the actual chances themselves were well created, then you deserve it.
You deserve a loss.
So that's such a shocker from Lyon.
Marseille go top now.
We got a decent title charge so far. Monaco unbeaten.
PSG, and
a good start.
Marseille got all the same points.
And then I think a team's on 10 points. I think they're all on 13. I think they're all on 13.
On 13. So
and
PSG.
on 10.
have scored 17 goals, Marseille 13 goals, 15 goals, and then Monaco 10 goals.
I think aren't Lens like fourth and they've scored 5 goals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 goals, 2 against.
Conceded 2.
Yeah.
Bro, that is the most like boring
They seem more
defensive
legal
football.
than that. I think
How does that happen? How are you fourth after scoring 5 goals and conceded?
Well, you win a few games 1-0,
Literally.
and the rest of the games you draw.
Oh my god.
1-1.
Southgate's gotten it.
Southgate's
Is he there?
Assistant. Southgate.
He's the technical director.
He's just sitting there and just doing the formations.
Yeah.
It's a funny old league table, that one, because they've already gapped basically. In
Yeah.
5 games, they're 4 points clear.
Pretty-
That's gapped.
Pretty ridiculous, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It sort of shows where that sort of the quality of the league sort of
Maybe
sits.
maybe if it keeps going like that, we'll definitely keep talking about
Keep
it.
an eye on it. But say Monaco impressing because they beat Barcelona.
Yeah, they've been.
midweek.
I know they might feature in Champions League.
They could be there. They could be there.
They could be there.
Let's go to our second segment. The 5 underwhelming players. Now, very tough. Fuck,
Oof,
I hated
it's-
this. This really.
This took like a few Red Bulls and like just trying to think. To be honest,
I watch a lot of football. I don't think I watch enough to know who's been bad though. It's a problem.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I could give you 5.
I like a couple of my shouts, but some of them are just like.
I've gone some known names that just haven't performed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
same.
honest. I haven't
Yeah.
really gone that
Yeah.
awful, but that's what I've gone with. Do you want to get kicked off this time around?
I'll go first. I'll start in the Prem now.
Yeah.
I didn't go a player for this team. I just went Lopetegui and West Ham. To be honest.
Fair play.
Because I just couldn't think. They've just all been
Shit.
underwhelming so far,
Yeah.
especially Lopetegui. With all the signings, with the players they originally had, like Yabolans and Kudus and Paqueta.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in Kilman, Tadibo at the back, which should make you better, but they look even more open than they did last year. And it's I just don't get why West Ham did it. It just baffles me.
Bought it.
And Lopetegui's just, I mean, it's just
He's fine for his
the
job.
same. Yeah,
He's fine
he
for his
is.
job.
Yeah, he's has the same sort of tactics as Moyes, but he doesn't have the success in the Prem.
Mm-hmm. Pay him, boys.
So it just doesn't make sense. And with what they have, it's very poor and very disappointing.
I'm gonna give you your props. There, you called this all those months ago, and with when the rumor came out, you're like,
It's just stupid. Under like when they had Gus Poyet there, they were like fighting relegation. They were finishing 17th, 16th, losing to Villa on the last day of the season and barely staying up. And then they get a guy in Moyes and he wins them a trophy, competes for Europe, close to the Champions League some seasons.
Super David Moyes.
And then they lose the best player they've had since Di Canio in Rice.
Yeah, basically.
And then they sack him. And the fans
And the
led
fans
that.
wanted
They
him.
led that
The
more than
fans
the
wanted him
board.
gone.
I think the board did it because of the fans, because it turned so
I
toxic
said
at
this
the
on
end.
Monday. I think it's
So-
a club, for better or worse, run by the fans,
Yeah,
which
So,
sometimes is
yeah.
not good. We see it in
it's
France.
disappointing to see, especially with a player like Bowen. He's struggling, and I don't blame
I've
him.
not seen Kudus and Bowen look so
Yeah, no.
not involved ever.
Yeah.
They don't touch the football anymore.
They just don't. Yeah, it's. I feel sorry for Bowen because I don't think it's
Yeah.
his fault. I just
No, you can't do
Yeah,
anything. You're gonna get the ball. You can't do anything.
Exactly.
Force it in the middle of the weekend again. I'm like, far
Yeah.
out, really.
Tadibo on the bench. I know Phil could. I think he's been injured, hasn't he? But
Yeah. But I didn't start him when he was available.
exactly. He
though.
didn't start him. So what?
This is Nicholas
This
Fulker, the
guy-
Champions League finalist.
Exactly. This guy was good at the Euros.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. A
like-
legend of the Euros.
I don't get it. But yeah, that's my West Ham rant.
Yeah.
Good to get
fair
off the
enough.
chest. Not gonna lie.
I would try. I did a little bit of that on Monday. It's been horrible.
Yeah.
I had to go 2 Prem players
Okay. Yeah.
because again, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know anyone in the league who's been underperforming. So,
Mm.
first one for me is Anthony Gordon.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Because-
understandable.
The Monday guys will know because me and Flynn especially, we rate him as like probably one of the best wingers in world football. At his best, at last season, probably a top 5 winger in world football.
Yeah.
Into the left winger. Tough start to the year. Barnes now coming for his spot.
Barnes is.
And Barnes probably
Yeah.
the best winger out of the two of them. Now the decision comes: do you put Barnes on the left and does Gordon get forced out of position? I think the next few weeks, like it is for Lopetegui, is a bit of a learning experience here for Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate to get any time for England. A lot of people asked for him, didn't get it though. That was a big opportunity. You come to the new season, Newcastle, you're supposed to be fighting back. Had a great start of the year, just considering how bad they've played, and he's probably been one of those players really struggled. Are we going to see that good form, or is he going to be left behind? If Newcastle try and push on now, will he be left behind as one of those? Like you see the Willocks now, they were sort of like off the bench. He was the last group.
It reminds me of like Saint Maxim, when it was like he's a good player, but they're above that. Like they need to move on.
If they want to keep moving on, do they get phased out?
Yeah.
And I guess that's sort of the player I want to learn about Gordon here. Is he a player that's going to drive them forward until he's 33 and become like a club famous winger, or does he get lost now if they try and push on without him? So
crazy how he was linked to very close to going to Liverpool as well. So
I think he
the players there, the players there, and it happened pretty early on as well. Like he moved to the right.
Yeah,
Hal moved him to the right pretty early on the season.
Eddie has been. He's been making moves mid-game a lot.
That's fair enough.
Moving things around.
Did you want to do your other Prem?
I'll carry it on. Yeah, I went Martinelli. Bit of a cop out. He's been rubbish for a few years, but
fair enough.
Again, I look on the weekend, and that's what I was trying to flint about it off air before the Monday pod. I'm like, you brought off Saka, you get Martinelli on. I'm like, strange move from Arteta for me.
Yeah,
Saka's the more all-rounded, better defensively, and makes the right decisions. I think in that North London derby, Martinelli had multiple chances to really make the right choice, make the finish, set the ball up for someone else. Just never did it.
Yeah, no.
I think the time's coming and going. I think the time has come and gone now for Martinelli. He's just... Just call him Martin.
Actually,
Ellie, mate.
If his name was Gabriel Martin,
Gabriel Martin.
He'd probably be in the championship by now.
Brother, you're in League One, mate. So get out of there. So
Martin,
literally, like lucky Arsenal. Like Hayes lost his legs, because if Hayes still had his legs, he probably would be out on the left.
He wouldn't even be getting a minute, probably.
So I think the time's coming and going. Yeah, Martinelli for me.
It's two good shouts. I like that. I'll go to the Bundesliga, and I've gone with Xavi Simons. Mentioned him earlier. Yeah. I know it's pretty harsh putting a 21-year-old in here, but I rate him so high that I thought with Olmo going, this is going to be his club now. Mm-hmm. He's going to drive him forward. And I know it's just Leipzig as a whole. They haven't looked free-flowing. Mm-hmm. They haven't looked good. But he just, in the games that they have won or have played okay, it's been Opendo, it's been Sesko and Haidara in the middle. It's been other players. So I know it's only 4 games, but I had this guy as a sneaky for... player of the season.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't really... I mean, I think his only goal contribution came in the Pokal.
Yeah.
So, just hasn't gotten going yet. So.
I had him written down, but I couldn't do it to my boy. I started crying.
I don't blame you.
I started crying. I was like, I can't do it.
That's like me putting Verts in. Like, I can't.
I went Nicolas Sewell.
Ooh.
Again,
sneaky,
a tough one. Because he's had 2 really good games, but... He's also some really tough games as well. And maybe it's just the Dortmund backline as a whole. There's been a few of them in there that's a little bit... And very topical considering what happened on the weekend. I could have a few down, but I think Anton's probably looked better out of the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Schlotterbeck, when he's played, looked probably a bit better, the 2 of them. So I think I'm going to put Sula in there.
I like that.
Again, a player that's a part of a Germany setup most of the time. Major feature for them last season. It was tough for me in the Bundesliga again because the likes of Xavi Simons was there. I was looking at Stuttgart players; they've all performed.
Yeah. All the teams have pretty much performed besides Dortmund. But we were talking big about Dortmund last week. Yeah. That's the thing. So.
I can't really put in my Chan. I can't put Pascal Gross there.
Yeah, no. I was thinking Julian Brandt, but
he comes with the bench a little bit as well. Exactly, it's a bit harsh. That's the thing. I couldn't really put any of the big guys because all the big guys are performing. Maybe a big drop off.
No, from Bayern, so
I'm going to put him like Kane.
Company.
So I think the worst I could find was probably Nicolas Sewell for me.
No, that's fair enough.
So I whacked him in there.
I like that. I'll go to La Liga. Mm-hmm. This is just a personal vendetta, I've got to be honest. I've just gone with Zubamendi.
I hate you.
You know what? My guy chose Mountains over Liverpool. They're 16th on the ladder, and you know what? You deserved it. So
it's karma. Cop that.
You're 16th. To be fair, they should have beaten Real. They were unbelievable that game. Hit the bar, the post about 10 times. So I warned you. This is just
personal.
This is just a personal vendetta. He had to get into a list at some point.
He cop that.
Have it.
Have that.
So, yeah. I think he's actually been pretty good this year. They've lost a lot of players, but yeah.
It's hard to read that too.
I couldn't, again, it's similar to Bundesliga. All the big clubs, I'm not going to put anyone from Barca. Mm-hmm. Real Madrid are still, they haven't lost.
Yeah, I could put Kylian.
I thought you were going to put Kylian.
I could have put him in if we were really neat.
Atletico are kicking. Bilbao are now up into the top 4.
Yeah.
Girona, they've lost half their teams.
I don't think it was Daily Blind, but bro's legs have been gone for years now.
So. He's good on him for still competing at that level,
Fair play to the bloke. No. So I went really bold with mine. I went really. I don't know if you're gonna hate me or not. I went Nico as my
You know what?
underwhelming player.
I don't mind it.
I think it's only one goal contribution this season. His brother's
and
been
it's weird
it.
because they
They
started off slow,
back.
but they have bounced back.
I think it was injured. Or he didn't play on the weekend. They got a really big 3-2 win. Funny one.
Yeah.
Because even last year...
It's a bit like Xavi Simons, I think, after the Euros.
Well, there's a bit of Euros tax for these guys.
You'd expect him
because when I think about Nico and I think about last season, it wasn't goals. And we both said that he's not a goals guy.
He didn't have a big goal tally.
No, he's an assist guy.
Yeah.
And instead of like a Morgan Rogers stuff, which I saw someone raised it quite well on social media. He said, I hate stats because Morgan Rogers is the best Aston Villa player right now, yet he's got no goal contributions.
Yeah, no.
And I haven't watched Athletic Club enough to know exactly that, but from what I've seen of them, he hasn't been as pivotal as what I thought. Because the Euros, everything that was fantastic in terms of setting the play up came through him, and Yamal would finish it off or get the next pass. But it all started with Nico. And I look at Athletic Club, and when I've seen him play, he's not that focal. Like, he should be the guy, right?
Yeah, he should be.
He didn't make the move to Barca.
Spend the others.
He should be the guy.
Time.
His brother's been fantastic up top. The midfield core been fantastic. So again, it has to be harsh because I can't really spot one guy out.
I think it's a good shout though, to be honest.
I think he's the guy for me.
After like the Euros and stuff and how good he was last year.
People rated him probably the player of the tournament if that went blind.
No, I think that's a valid shout. Better than mine. So
mine
was just a personal vendetta. Yours was actual. You had facts behind yours. Mine just he chose Mountains over Liverpool and they're 16th. That has nothing to do with the player.
I could have used Frankie de Jong then. Come to United.
I'll go to Syria. Again, I found this difficult. I've found most of the leagues difficult. But I went with Charles de Ketelaere.
Valid.
From Atalanta. It's been Retegui that's been the main focal point up top. I think Scamacca's been sort of out. I think he's been injured, just on the bench. Hasn't really been playing. De Ketelaere's started every game, I believe, and he just hasn't clicked for him. I know he's still pretty young. I think he's 23, 24, around that age. But still, you'd kind of think a player that was so much of a talent, was talked up so much, it would he'd just be a bit more consistent. And it's not just his numbers, but it's just his performances haven't been good.
Yeah.
So, I think he's been pretty underwhelming this season.
He was their big money signing as well.
Yeah.
He came across from Milan. I went Lautaro for my underwhelming one.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you spoke about him last week. It was pretty. I mean, it's.
I think for me, Inter might click if he starts clicking again.
You're probably right.
A straight correlation. It's so. This guy, the Argentinian forwards, they hold so much importance to their clubs and their nation. They don't know it. Like Higuain and now Lautaro, Dybala. These guys have so much ability, but when they don't show it or they're just not quite there, he's showing it, he just can't find the finish. Can't find the end product, and it just looks like a man that's running very thin on confidence right now.
It's weird though. After how good he was, he was the third best striker in the world last season.
Arguably won the tournament for
won the
Argentina
tournament
as well.
Won the Golden Boot in Serie A. You'd expect confidence to still be. You'd have to take like a half a year to have that confidence drop away.
Just the look of him on the weekend was like,
It's like Thuram's the one that's...
He's the guy.
Yeah.
And it was always, like I said earlier, it was like the Martinez Thuram punch. Now it's almost a Thuram Dumfries Lautaro punch. It's
DeMarco.
It's just... It's funny because their system technically shouldn't... it doesn't really work with us two centre forwards, but they ended up getting so many goals last season. But the way they hit the long diagonals and the big switches, you'd expect the fullbacks to be heavily involved. But we see it with Leverkusen. We saw it with this team last season. These two forwards got double-digit goals and assists, right? So, it's just funny he's not been as involved.
I think you're bang on about the whole, if Lautaro starts to click into, will click. I think that's valid. Bang on.
Pretty straightforward for them.
My last one, again, I'm going to the Championship.
Ball knowledge.
And I've gone with Adebayo from Luton. He's been very poor this season so far. I was really impressed with him in the Prem last year. I thought he was this big body striker, scored a lot of good goals, a lot of important goals for Luton as well. Had some really good performances against big teams as well, not just against the sort of mid-table relegation fodder as well. But he just no goal contributions at all this season, no impact. Carlton Morris was on the bench, came on and did more in 15 minutes than Adebayo has all season. So I think it's probably time Rob Edwards makes that change. And
Rob Edwards might be the change. It sounds like it's.
Is he actually going to get sacked?
I saw the Luton.
I haven't seen that.
One of the Luton fan pages and stuff like that on Instagram.
Lads, have won 2 in a row.
The pressure's building at least.
It is big time. Yeah, no.
He's not convinced.
They only just beat Millwall.
It was 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0 Millwall. And then Sheffield Wednesday, they were losing 1-0.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think, did Sheffield get a red card and then that changed it?
I think it was, yeah. There's a lot of red cards on me. The Preston game was a red card on that one as well.
But yeah, I think Rob Edwards now wants to stay in his job, now that you've told that to me. I think he's going to have to just stop clinging on to these players that performed in the Prem and just go back to guys that are performing, like reward Carlton Morris.
Go back to the championship ballers. Morris is championship guy. Burke and all these are little championship players,
go back
right?
to them. So
the OGs.
Yeah, I've been disappointed by him.
That's a very valid shout. There we go. That's your 5, right? Because I double up
that's my 5. Yeah.
Hard list. I think we did the same thing last year.
I think we actually did pretty good, actually. But I think we all had good. We had good shouts.
It's tough with underwhelming because
it is.
We try and
we're harsh on a few, but we have to be in a way.
And there's so many players you can know.
Exactly.
I focus on the heart. I focus on whatever's popping off, not what whoever's stinking out.
Good list.
All right, for the last 15, let's talk La Liga and then Champions League. Quickly about Barca. Yeah, we talked about it a fair bit, but 5 again. Another team to put 5+ aside on the weekend. Added to the list. Massive performance from Barca past Villarreal. Again, Villarreal went ridiculously bad.
They weren't even bad.
Like, I'm backing my boys in. They're still top 8 now. They're still hanging around. They've had some really difficult games already this season. They've fought that they've been now. So Barca, Atleti as well. They faced as well. So
they lost like what? That was like 3-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3-2. So they've had some tough games at home. So I'm going to back them in. I think they actually might come good this year.
Yeah, I think that was a good shout for me. Yeah,
happy I made that call in the end.
Yeah.
But my God, Lewandowski, another great performance. Didn't miss a penalty, but he's still all-round performance fantastic. We talked about Rafinha too. Right at the end of the game, they killed the game off. And young Torre. Or Torre, whatever.
They found another one.
Castello comes out, Torre comes in, bang, assist goal.
He looks great. He looked unbelievable. The assist for the first.
That assist.
The assist, great ball, and then the finish. I know it takes a deflection, but again, it's a deserved goal for him. Like he had a great performance. Him alongside Pedri, like you couldn't tell the difference.
No.
And Pedri's been, highlighted as this world-class talent, the guy, and he obviously still is, but they just have so many coming through. And it's not just in one area of the pitch. Defence, they had Kabassi last year.
Yeah, he was there last year.
Up top,
the poor guy got injured as well, wasn't he? He was the poor lad, fullback as well, he got the knee.
They just have... You look at their bench, and some of the names are like, who's this guy? But they come on and they play just... and within a week, we know who they are, and they're going to be unbelievable. So... Hansi Flick at the minute, this is like the perfect squad for him. He's got the experience, the know-hows, and he's got the youngsters that are going to press and play his system to a T. So, obviously, they had the disappointment against Monaco, but if Ter Stegen wasn't an idiot and they don't get that red card as a result of Ter Stegen being an idiot, they probably win that game. So, they and Villa... It's even more impressive the fact that Villarreal were actually pretty good going forward.
I know. It's a 5-1 game that probably was a 3.
Probably a 3-1,
or
3-2, 4-2. 4-2 probably.
If Barca deserved the 5 goals, give Villarreal 3. It was a 2-goal difference.
Yeah, just had a couple of close offsides. I think there were 2 of them.
Pepe,
by the way.
Pepe, good.
Didn't you have him as like a one to watch type player? Did you have him in a list? He's looking... Much better.
I know Flint's loving the Pepe rejuvenation.
He's looking much better.
It's a funny front, not funny, a cool front too. Pepe and Jose Perez up top. Streets won't forget Barca.
I know I laughed when Perez made the Euros, the Spain squad. I was like, what the fuck? I thought the guy went to Saudi.
He's still kicking him out. He's doing a job there.
Fair play to him. He's putting in a shift. So
it's
when they lost Dan Juma, I thought,
I was wondering what was going on there.
Yeah, goals are going to be hard to come by. Maybe they still are.
They might work it out.
They're still creating, so it's just fair play to them.
Look at this, Ter Stegen got injured. But he got injured as well.
Yeah, bad injury apparently.
He's out for now. Apparently, Claudio Bravo came on social media and said if they need him, he'll come back out of retirement to play. That's a love of the game right there.
They need a lone Lunan. Courtois was out. Come on.
Bring us the guy.
Who is their backup?
Great question. Absolutely superb. Astralaga.
Oh Jesus.
Australia.
He's probably some 17-year-old Spanish wonder kid.
Done.
He'll be in our top 10 goalkeepers in
7 foot.
Whenever we do that, he will be there.
Look at this thing like Kunde right back, Dominguez, Inigo Martinez, Martin left back, Pablo Torre, Eric Garcia is playing DM, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Rafinha. That team looks mid on paper.
That front line. It looks mid, but that front line is a joke.
Yeah, but you tell me last season you're going Lamine Yamal,
Rafinha, Lewandowski.
Nico, and you're like, who's Lamine Yamal? What's Rafinha going to do?
Rafinha's, and Lewandowski is just going to be 12 months older.
Yeah. You're like...
that is a good point.
If you sit here this exact same time last season, you're thinking, oh shit.
It's like, oh my God.
You're saying, where's
Plus
De Jong?
you say no Gundogan.
Yeah.
After how good he was last year.
No Gundogan, no De Jong.
He literally kept their team from spiraling to like 7th, 6th.
Balde was on the bench. Like,
man. Yeah, wow.
Still want to see Ansu come back.
Arejo's...
I don't know how far away he is. He must be...
Yeah.
Like how many...
if they can like get fit for the back end of the season and they're still in the Champions League, like up there with Real...
Because you're going to have Dani Olmo... We said this, the midfield's going to be nuts. So Dani Olmo, Pedri, Gavi, Fermin...
De
Jong... Casado
the two youngsters, Casado, and who's the other one that played against Valencia?
Oh.
There was another young stuff.
He was very good though. Chuck him in there as well.
Him as well.
Like you're playing Eric Garcia, DM now, so apparently he's a midfielder now.
Ansu Fati is going to become this...
I'm sure in for a revenge arc.
I think something's gonna happen.
Cook.
Something will happen with him.
Cook this season.
Yeah, something will happen. Yeah.
Either his ankle will be cooked or he will cook it. Something's gonna happen with it. But there's my shout. Something's gonna cook with Ansu.
No, it could be. Yeah.
But Hansi Flick, just fair play.
Man, fair play. Fair play to him.
I don't know who the hell's playing up top if Lewandowski is not playing either. I don't know what happens then.
Oh, they'll figure something out. They'll have some. There's someone there that is just ready to go. They're ready to go.
Slide him in there.
Slide him in. They're probably cooking at like the under 21s. They've probably scored about 30 goals in 6 games. So they'll be fine.
And I just want to finish quickly. Valencia won a game of football.
Finally,
2-0 over Girona. 2 ugly goals as well.
Oh my God.
Poor Juanpi, both balls are flicked off him.
I just watched the short highlights for that, and I struggled big time.
That was a shit game. It was a shit game of football.
Poor Girona, they've...
Girona looked dodgy at the back.
Yeah. After looking... I know...
And late midweek.
Yeah, they looked good midweek, conceding a last-minute winner. I think it was an own goal, wasn't it?
In the end, they counted Gazzaniga's own goal.
Obviously, the Barca game happened where we said they didn't look bad. It's just Barca were incredible. Yeah. And then... This one's the first one where I've gone. Yeah, it's a disappointing one. This
is Girona this season.
It'll be very much mid-table. I think.
It's a great game, a really poor game.
Had them too high up.
Champions is going to kill them. I think. I think Champions really going to.
And just the squad in general.
That looked like a leggy performance.
Yeah, like I think Gutierrez was on the bench midweek.
Yeah,
not midweek.
They brought the young kid on as well. The winger, I think.
Like their bench was very like you'd have a lot of those starting, but they just can't because they're just going to be gas. So. Yeah, I think it'll be like a kind of Newcastle of last season. Very much just 10th, 9th, maybe even a bit lower, and just stabilise and go again. Try and keep Michelle. I think there'll be a club out there.
Van der Beek, Stawani, Brian Hill, Herrera, Miss Hoy.
Even Van der Beek
on the bench.
That's a sad story, man. He's not even a quarter of the player that he was at Ajax.
Bro's gone.
I mean, he was bought for a packet of chips, so like, it's no surprise.
He put on a mortgage and it probably let more than Van der Beek's price in the end.
I swear there've been like weddings around the world that have cost more than what Van der Beek to Girona was.
From top 10 Ballon d'Or to...
What was he, like 500 grand?
I think it was 500 grand.
Yeah. That's what a fall off. Even at Frankfurt. He was at Frankfurt last year.
He didn't play.
He did. He was fucking hell.
How did he drop off that badly?
Oh, man.
I killed him, man. I cooked him. Man United cooked him because the injuries as well must have screwed him up.
Yeah, that's a sad story. It is sad.
That's one of the great fall-offs of all time. Yeah. Let's finish on a bit more of a higher note. Top 5 Champions League match day 1 performances.
How are we doing for time as well?
We're 110, so we're going to nail this again this week. Yes. We're getting good at this. Now that the storylines are starting to write themselves, we just have to discuss the storylines once again.
Love it.
So we didn't discuss this. So you went teams, I went players.
Teams,
I like this though. We might do this more often.
It might be good. Maybe
it gets a deeper perspective.
Because we're pretty close with the list anyway that we do.
Yeah.
So
you know what? These players we're gonna
they might overlap
teams.
anyway. Yeah. Did you number them like
I
best?
didn't number them, but I basically have them. You know what? I actually have got a number.
Okay.
I'm gonna back
because I did just in case.
Okay, whack your 5 out, and I'll say I
so I've done teams just to clear up.
Teams.
So I did Villa at number 5.
Yeah, I did Jacob Ramsey number
Love
5.
it.
There we go.
If this overlaps,
This would be nuts. This would be nuts.
yeah, they were brilliant, weren't they?
At the Wankdorf as well.
Yeah.
One of the toughest away days at the Wankdorf. Young boys at the Wankdorf. You want to be there on a Wednesday night. I tell you what.
There were so many titles I was going to put for this game, but I just put Aston Villa 3, Young Boys 0. I didn't put any like statement. Just leave it at that. Don't
keep it simple. Keep it
let's not get cancelled before you start this channel blows up. You know. But yeah, they were good, weren't they? They were very good.
They were bloody good.
They were very good.
I took a pick. It was either Jacob Ramsey or Yuri Tillemans.
Yeah,
both were fantastic.
It's hard to pick a player from that game, wasn't it? They were very good.
This it was like a warm feel. It was like I was happy watching Villa go out and do because you get worried about these teams going in Champions League and just bottling it and not
especially last year in the was it conference? They were a bit
because they did well and then they got the knockout and just shut the bed.
Yeah,
so it was I was like, this was a really good performance again. And I'm pretty sure Young Boys is like an Astro pitch as well. Like
it is.
I know Ronaldo when he played for us had a complaint. It's a different style. Like it is different style of football. So the way they just went there and just dominated and dictated the game. I think Jacob Ramsey, the midfield for me, was fabulous. And I've touched on the prediction video and coming into the weekend, I said him and Morgan Rogers right now, despite them both being the young players, they're basically the live wire. They're the heartbeat of this team right now. The ball goes through them to make things happen. I think you're getting like an 8.7 on SofaScore, or some ridiculous rating on SofaScore as well, which I saw. Fantastic performance from the young guy. Yeah, so very good
well
for him.
Yep. My 4, I don't think you'll have a player. You definitely won't have a player from this actually. I put Inter. The fact
I didn't.
I thought you wouldn't because it was pretty nil, pretty not boring.
I was
game.
Summer in though. I was very close to putting Summer in.
Yeah, I just thought it was a good result for Inter. I think it was a result that most people would have had City winning. And I think they went there. They had a couple of chances. Sommer had a good game, and I think you take that every day of the week. A 0-0. So
Flynn said it. Every team world football would go to City and play for a draw. No one would complain with a draw there.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how to say his guy. Engels from Celtic.
Nice.
Goal and assist.
I love that. Yeah.
Celtic like again. I didn't watch the guy. I watched the short whatever. But that place was bouncing. Yeah. Big game from this man in the middle of the park.
We said Celtic. We said Celtic might finish top.
we
said it.
Hey, they're second now. They're second at the moment, so you never know.
We said some random team, Celtic.
Yeah. You know? They whacked some poor Slovakian side that looked like a bunch of childs. They dominated, and this was embarrassing. But Engels in the middle of the park was fantastic. Even the centre forward, the Japanese, and I think
Kyogo. Sorry,
he's so good to watch.
He's very good.
He's a live wire as well. But went with the man in the centre of the park. A goal and assist.
Whenever Celtic play Rangers, he always scores like 2 or 3 goals.
So that's what I hear about.
Serious player.
They were very.
I think City were interested in him as well.
I won't be surprised.
I swear I saw Fabrizio post that they were looking at him maybe as an Alvarez like kind of.
I would not be surprised I get him in January or something like that.
Yeah, he's very good.
But I took it. They killed him. So
they were good Celtic. My 3, I put Leverkusen.
Yes.
With their winner of a final.
Yep.
4-0 in the first half. Had the game wrapped up. Completely dismantled them. Wirtz was a joke.
Your worries came true.
Yeah, I know. It did, yeah. Just that first half was brilliant. So, and to do that in the Champions League after the disappointment of the Europa League final, I think it was a bit of a statement to go there and absolutely whack them for 4.
We're back, so vibe.
Yeah.
I went Zeno De Bast from Sporting as my 3rd best player.
Well, you have come with the notebook out, and you have.
This is goal of the week, by the way. I don't know if
goal,
this goal
incredible,
is out of. No one's talked about. I don't know.
It wasn't even posted on like any social media. You had to actually watch the highlights.
Top left, whacked in the corner.
Yeah.
Great performance at the back as well.
Yeah.
I watched a Sporting game after you'd mentioned them, and boy, I was impressed.
They look good. Yeah.
Gilkera is heavily involved. The energy in that it's a high paced team. It's a high energy team. It moves the ball well. And the fact he just wandered onto this ball and whacked it top left, I was like, he's getting my list straight away.
Yeah, that was incredible.
All round performance, top tier for me. So he slid a number 3 for me.
Good shout. My 2 is Monaco. Their win against Barca. I know it's a bit kind of tainted with the red card. And look, they probably don't win the game, to be honest, if that doesn't happen.
They beat Barca, man.
But they beat Barca. They scored 2 really good goals and they beat them.
Yeah,
like, you wouldn't have had that. You wouldn't have had them beaten Barca when the draws came out. No. So already they've got the advantage over others in their pool and just in general with their fixtures. So, yeah, I didn't want to put them 1 because the red card taints it a bit, but I think they had to be.
Football, arguably.
Yeah, exactly.
Best team in football.
Literally, yeah.
I got a player from probably the best team in football, Marco Elise. Number 2.
Yeah, nice.
Could have put Kane, but come on,
Had to,
first Champions League game. He sort of header as well. I was like, what the hell? He got a header. Great performance. Actually, I could have picked all 3. Either him, Kane, or Kimmich.
Kimmich was
all 3 of them were just like unstoppable. And obviously 9-2 speaks about it. They continued their performance from the weekend prior against Holstein Kiel.
Yeah.
And as I was saying, these guys have played every single game. Like, these guys can get dropped.
Yeah, no.
They don't get rested. So they've had a really good start to the season. I think Elise, for me, it was special. It was like first Champions League night at Allianz as well, getting the score sheet, but heavily involved.
He just looks so unfazed by any occasion, no matter how big it is.
Yeah. Partly his character. He's the most dopey guy of all time. But the way
if he's playing like this, just keep being that guy.
He is the guy right now. He's killing it. He's number 2 for me.
And then my number 1 was Bayern. I think I know that the team they versed was Training Cones, wasn't it? It was Training Cones.
Yeah, Training Cones away.
I don't know how. I mean, they got it back to 3-2.
I know that was amazingly a crazy moment.
Even the commentator was like, "Whoa, here we go."
Here they come.
But yeah, to score 9 in a Champions League game is ridiculous. They scored some great goals. I just think it was, again, a statement win.
Yeah.
Again, I know the opposition was just absolutely shocking. Weirdly enough, when they got back in the game.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was a massive win. Massive.
Huge result. And I'll back you up on the Leverkusen show. I went Florian Wirtz my player of the match day. He was out of this world. He was everywhere. And that first half tore the game apart. That Boniface assist as well, by the way.
The no-look? Oh, my God. The commentators didn't even say anything about it as well.
That's a streets move, man. That's some street football
type
stuff.
That's a man that is. Playing
setup.
One of the best.
Wirtz was everywhere. Goals galore. Sorry. This was, I was going to say, we didn't really talk about it. That was Bayer Leverkusen's best performance for a long time.
Oh, yeah, a long time, yeah.
Like,
even the end of last year, they were just getting results because of the momentum.
Like we said that the Super Cup was one of their better performances in a different way, but this is probably the best performance we've seen them put together.
100%.
Since probably the Bayern game.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably the last time.
Them, that's a good
clean sheet.
Yeah, that's good.
Dominated from start to finish.
Yeah,
got it done early. 100%. So very impressive. Florian Wirtz was pivotal to that.
Yep,
that's my list. That's your list. There we go.
Still pretty similar.
I liked it. We went to the.
I just said the games. You just said the player from the games.
So. Maybe I'll go teams next time, and you go.
Yeah.
Keep rotating around for each match.
We could do that. Yeah.
But there we go. That is a week of football wrapped up. A week of fives.
An hour 15.
A week of fives. A week of team getting battered.
We saw everything.
What else did we say? I said on the Monday pod, for football, it was a great weekend for football.
It was,
football won on the weekend.
Football did win, but VAR still had a say in it. So
why not?
Yeah,
it always has to have a say in it.
But it was very, very good week. Very
happy with football.
Very happy with that.
Very happy football's back. Thanks for us, guys. Remember 5 stars on Spotify, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. 2K is the goal now. 2K.
Yeah, come on.
Not 850 to go. So
come on.
Get your head down, subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
And thank you for the support last week. We're back.
Yeah,
it's been a while since we've been at the 200 view mark.
All 190 of you. We love 200 of you. We love you all. How many people are there in the world? Like, how many people? 8 billion?
A couple billion.
The rest of you, shame on you.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, you're missing out. You're missing out on the best calls and...
Exactly. You're seeing, Southampton.
Yeah.
And
Sugawara was chatting.
Where else do you see this, man?
Where else do you see it?
Come on.
That's where you get in the channel. You get ball knowledge.
Exactly.
Until next time, guys. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.